Hello, welcome. So over here I've got the world champion Vecht over here.
Yeah.
Basically, we're all staying together in this apartment. So what we're doing is we're just going to kind of talk a bit about our world experience. It's been kind of a few days since Worlds at the time of this recording. We thought we'd just kind of talk about our journey there, the games we've had, the experience we've had really. I would say like we did quite a lot of testing.
Yeah, like a lot together. Like you played Genesis, I played Steam Maintenance, I played Chronojet. It's just like one big fuckfest. Like I think for the last like 2 weeks, it was like every evening. Like, do you want to test? 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 And it's like sometimes we didn't even change builds, but like just to get into the habit, right?
Yeah.
It was just really insane. And like for me at least to be like world champion after like a lot of like shit happened at Worlds, holy fuck. So like at least my experience from Worlds it was like for me I was like with my back against the wall like constantly, right? Because like I lost round one, like oh yeah sure Ado is like in the bottom 5 cards, well I have 5 cards and like okay, shit happens. But I feel like also with like this format you have a lot of fucking variants, like oh yeah sure OT always being a thing, but also just like Bermuda opening where like 2 Pole Sisters, or like just I don't know, like there's just so much variance in this format that you can just like get out about without any like thing you can do about it.
Like
Yeah.
going first as well. I feel like going first had a massive impact. Like I felt like I was losing games just for going second.
Yeah.
Which is quite nuts.
I didn't like keep in mind if how much I went first versus going second though. That I totally forgot because I was just like okay dice roll and then like just keep right with the result and stuff, like just so be it, right? But I think I went sort of like 50-50 on it, like with the dice roll. So like 50-50, like because I top 8 against like Steve Lee I went second, against Maxima I went second, against top 8 I think I got second as well. Oh no, yeah, top 8 I went second as well maybe? No, I went first because he did demolition stuff like
Yeah.
like immediately. And then like for my Swiss runs it was like I think more first favorite, like if you have like six Swiss rounds it's like 4-2 or 3-3 maybe. But like going first is definitely like the stronger play in this format because since you have write down, if you're going first you have the option, do you write down or not? Like just having the inherent option and just having one option more than your opponent does is already like a big benefit in my opinion. Because it's like outplay or like outskill in proportion. You're also the one with the first force marker, one with the big turn, and it's like you just make so much advantage. Like for you played of course Genesis, and it's like you really want to go first. Also because like it's just like you just like do the most special crit, then you go Martyr crit, and then the Yggdrasil 5 crit, like that type of thing. Like in testing, like people may say yeah that's sacky, and it is sort of is. But you also like builds attack around like that you have like 12 crits on this guy, like one bow into it.
Yeah, I really want to play draw perfect guards to be honest, but it gets quite iffy. I was having difficulties with this in testing. It's like when I don't get crits, the deck is really iffy, and I sort of try to make it so I can defend a bit better. So like I played V-Series Ordinal, which was a card that I kept going in and out, deciding whether or not to play it. I think going in, I felt like I definitely had to rely on luck doing well because of the way.
I think with how Worlds is and like with the variants, we both really want to have like stability. So like you played Orion Owl, I played the Great One, Steam Maiden, that can like some +1 draw 2 if you ban a trigger from him. And just the consistency that you need to bring with you was really helpful. At least for me, like I remember like my last round was first like opening for Great G, so I'm like I don't know what to do, man. And then it's like right, Great One, find it, try to crit and like draw a boo and then draw. Like I can finally play the game.
So I'll chip in a little bit on going first versus going second. So the sad part was this format, it definitely is better going first because of write down decks again. And if you aren't playing write down, you were playing something like Spike Brothers, Regalia, or anything else that's like has a strong grade 3 write up. So like if you go second, then you're already at disadvantage because they like made an extra force marker that they can use on their strike turn if you write up. And if you go first, at least you get to pressure them and then they can't abuse write down. So and you only need to survive their first stride. so then you can play the game further. So sadly, it definitely was impactful, and I lost one of my games because of it as well. But overall, it wasn't like going second meant that you definitely lose the game. I feel like the player that goes second is the one that gets skill tested a little bit more, because then you have to play around like damage thresholds and everything else. So yeah, it wasn't too bad, but going first definitely was impactful this format.
But like I think the strength of like Regalia, Spikes, those type of decks is just like you give your opponent the option. Like you just have an insane great 3 turn, right? Like just suppress your opponent out of oblivion, and just like you don't give a fuck about like what your opponent's grade is, right? Like let's fix up a grade 2, grade 3. Like sometimes it's even preferable like that to have vote up to the grade 3, because then the U cards are back to grade 2. But then people started playing Rodok, for example. Like in my opinion, like I played Rodok and it was like oblivious. Like it was like just a very good card to play in this format, and I think also in previous formats was already like good to begin with right on decks. And then like in previous formats we had less of that, because like in my opinion we had like Highlander that it's good write down, but it's sort of like not, because like you had Soul Blasters that could write down, but they're like most of them were not like good enough, or like there were not enough of them, so you couldn't really do it consistently. Now it is, because you have like Yugi, like the Yuka and stuff.
Yuki.
Yeah, really good card. And then also for Steam mainers, which like got introduced like after MFT, and like with in-gears and stuff. But like in gears we could already do it, but then in the connected counterpart where you could just also Soul Blast out your grade 3, and then you had time limit to search your Soul Blaster, so it was also the same. But like the Steam main on write down is far stronger, because it like first of all it gives you a soul. You do it automatically. Only when you want to have like the double force marker play, you need to play into it as well. Corniche doesn't, right? But like that's so be it. Like you have the entire arsenal of like Steam mains, which is like really like insane and good cards. Also in this format, I think like GB cards are like dog shit in general. Like you need to have a very good reason to play them. So like in my build, I played like 5 grade 3, like 5 GB units, which was like 1 Melon, 2 TikTok, and then 2 Lucina Bell. The Lucina Bell is like a 50-50 in my aspect, right? Because like it counters my opponent in a sense. Like it's for example, I give first like stride to them. It checks already, like then I can already like activate the skill, because you use it with Bearlock if you have a heal in hand. But like Melon and the TikTok are like dead until like first stride. So how I see it is like if you're getting first strike, you're probably already ahead, and then you increase the ceiling of when you're going ahead. But like in the early game, it doesn't really matter. Like mostly if I have TikToks on hand in the early game, I just like put them down behind and draw them.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like whatever. But I think like for you want to like play the 6K Genesis, like the Regalia PG.
Yeah, and I took that out like kind of last minute. I've been changing my list so many times, like ridiculous amount of times, all the way to the last minute, and I just wasn't sure what the true best list was. I think no matter what I did, I would shoot myself. So like I could play cards that will bet against Bermuda, which I guess might have compromised a bit, but the problem is if the game goes too fast for me to be able to use, say for example, the GB1 PG for Regalia, I'd have no way of adding to hand. I need to play Glyphner, which then presents another kind of worms.
Yeah.
Like everything just clashes so much. Like
in the end,
you have to try and fit things in. It's really hard to fit enough to kind of deal with everything.
In the end, you decided to like play the draw ditch PG, right?
1 copy in the end. Yeah, last minute, so 1 copy.
And then Sentinel crits, I think, right?
So I even tried 4. I've tried Sentinel crits as well. So I mixed 2-2. Unfortunately, one of those other 2s was Elementary Sanctuary, and that lost me a game because I was very unsure about playing this card. Because obviously that is something that could have been a grade 1 to ride. And I've had odd testing hands where it's happened, and unfortunately round 3 I got paired against Maxime, my teammate that I play with Springfest, and he went first as well, which is obviously one advantage, but then to add to it I got Great Stuck as well, and in my mulligan hand I had 1 Elementary Sanctitude, which was a Blitzorder grade 1, so that could have been like a grade 1 PG instead if I was playing a different list, and that's kind of like how it bit me back. So maybe I've just overthought things. And
no, I think you say it. Like I think also like many people overlook like Elementary Sanctitude, where it's a really good card and a good staple in my opinion. Like people think, it's a VPG, you need to play it at every single deck. And I think for this format, like some decks can play it better than others, like Highlander for example, can play it, but you cannot like really search it and stuff, so it's like not generally like you want to play better cards than what I was saying to do. Like it works like a triple drive, which means you get first strike, which like means like you're already winning, and so like if your opponent is first strike, you're already losing, and like I think that like the +1 you essentially get for not discarding is like not worth it.
Yeah, and I was gonna say like as well, like one of the things that tempts my choice to not play the 4 Regalia PGs as well is that I wanted to play like a few Sentinel crits so that since I'm not as like to always get the GB1 PG to recycle, I may just be able to get away with just dropping 1 card to guard rather than dropping 2 cards to guard against the Schlishma turn. Because I did find like you only really need like 1 PG, but it's kind of weird.
Yeah, you need it for the finger move.
Yeah, otherwise you might be dropping 2
like
cards for other attacks.
If I for example have like 2, 3 force markers and whatever, but like in that game state it's usually already OTK, right?
Yeah, it is. I played against teammates actually in round 5. I think it was against Anthony, if I remember correctly. And I went second as well in that game, but basically it was kind of surprising that game because I actually thought I was dead after I did my turn 3 play. So like I ended up with 4, I think in hand, and 3 damage, and I rode up, permanently rode up first because obviously he did the right down play, and he did his Schlishma turn, but I decided to go a bit more aggressive and call the Celia Drassil, Snipe and Trana, 5 key guard obviously. I didn't manage to kind of close the game, but his hand wasn't good enough in that state of the game now that he basically called 2 Elus, the grade 3 one, and his Schlishma attacks was basically, he did 6 attacks, so like Elul, Schlishma, Elul, and another Schlishma from Jason.
It's confusing because like you have Elo, Elo, and Elo. Like okay, yeah, good luck.
I survived off of that because of the Genesis G guard, which commands 2 crits. So I ended up getting rid of my Yggdrasils and one of my Norns.
But then you lose like a lot of pressure already.
Yeah, I lost a lot of pressure.
So it's like it's like a double-edged sword.
And Bearlock then screwed me up because
it's like a double-edged sword. Like you gain a shit ton of defense because it's supposed to be like guard and rear guard, and then you minus crit on the other one. But then again, you're losing like your Yggdrasils, Norn, and that's like your pressure point, right? Like you need those to kill your opponent, and if you don't have that, you're fine.
Yeah, I think it got close because I didn't think I'd survive that turn, but then when I got to the next turn, turns if I put in the other Norn into Soul, I could have actually done the Minerva triple restand play, but I kept the Norn that I had on the rear guard column just so I can use Minerva's on attack restand field play, because I wasn't expecting to keep, like, after using Laura to return my Sea of Yggdrasils into the deck, I used 2 G guards that turn.
But isn't that like always better to like keep the booster for the Vanguard?
The thing is that it's a grade 2, so you need to have Yggdrasil, and I wasn't really expecting, but I ended up drawing 2 COs, so I drew 1 for turn, and then I think I drew into another copy as well, but had I called that copy, what would happen is that, because Minerva, the problem is that I couldn't call the one that I had in hand after using the first one to strike, because if I do that, I can't use Minerva on attack cost, which is discard 1 when attacks restand at the end of battle. Whereas if you had Yggdrasil in hand and already had the normal kind of Minerva, then you could literally use the discard cost at the end of battle, which would have been after you've done your 3 charging. I didn't have enough soul to do, unfortunately, enough Regalia soul, because I ended up soul charging, I think, a non-Regalia or so. I ended up doing like 28k restands, which was easy enough for Bearlock to deal with as well.
But like when I look at like an entire so like we're talking shit a bunch already like about opinion, but like I also play like there's like quite some fee in like these series, even though I didn't participate in that, so like I like got qualified for fee, but I didn't like play it in like Worlds, of course, because like I really like premium. Because like for example we're also staying here with Declan, which like qualified for D series, and I also like played it as the shit ton with him. Like I was essentially like just the joker, right, for him. Like just like give me a deck, I will play it, and like will play test against you. So like Overlord, you can like go on, right? And we just play test. And it was like it's also like going versus heavily favorable in that matchup, because like if you for example like Gilfrick or stuff, you're like the first one that like really commits pressure points. I have first persona and draws cards, so like because you draw, you're like your first cards more, like your bigger hands more or earlier. It means you have like more choice in like what to guard with. Like for if you're going second, you have like a smaller hand. So guarding is like, you don't have the luxury for it. But then again, if you're going first, you have like, you go to deck out first.
Oh.
So like, that's the thing, like, well, I say like, yeah, when you go first, you have the pressure point like first, right? But like, even then, it's not a guaranteed win sometimes, because if you're going second, you still draw like you end up with like a 12 card hand, right? So it's like, you stabilize, you go to deck out, opponent went first, it's like GG, right? I think that's why people also were like playing over it. Over it, I think it's a good deck. I don't think it's like the best deck though, which like I think people said in general, like I didn't keep up with like what people want to like made. Like I just like Declan gave me a deck, play it. Okay, I will play it. Okay, go, let's go. But like I think Overword was like the deck that could beat Youth Work in general, because like I think Youth Work is like deck most people expect like to bring, right? And also like the best deck in format by far. But like Overword could keep up while not having that big of a deck out issue as Youth Work has. So like even if you go like to the count game, you win due to deck count, and then you have like other decks such like Orpheus, which made top 8 or something. I guess like anomalies happen in my opinion. Like I think that was a really surprising factor. Like two, like Orpheus made it in top 8. One of them was piloted by Romain, I think, the French guy.
Oh, okay.
So I in my opinion, he's a really good player. Like playing like BCS London, where I got beaten by like Hella Happy World.
Oh, right.
That was also like funny.
Wait, so was he the same guy?
That's the same guy.
Yeah. Oh.
But like
Oh,
he's
he's
like
really
yeah, really good player. Like he can just like grab a deck and get the most out of it for like what the deck is, right?
So I don't play too much Overjazz, but the logic behind Orpheus was I think because Youthberg is like a little bit of a slower deck. It's not like extremely oppressive in the early game. So the idea was that Orpheus can just rush it down and not let them stabilize. So I think that's why it was taken. But besides that, I don't really have too much to chip in.
Like we played this a little bit with Orpheus, but I wasn't like scared by it. Like if I, for example, was playing Youthwork in like standard format, I would be like feel safe if I like see like, oh, you're playing Orpheus. Okay, I guess like in my opinion that's fine. Like you just have like indeed, because it's a more aggressive deck, you need to change your playstyle around, because like, the thing with Orpheus, it doesn't plus for shit. Like so like you have like the Turborino that like one boost like makes it go insanely high, retires, but it like gets rid of like a token and itself. So for itself it's a wash, because you put a card down, draw a card, and if you draw 15k shield, then you're going like plus in shield in terms, right? But I think actually like the tokens you need to keep on foot, because I think they're grade 1, and well you play a shit ton of grade 3s, I think more people shifted in playing more grade 1s, which means Tempest could like snipe the tokens more. Like losing one token isn't like that big, because you usually have like 1, 2, 3, but like let's say for example you get rid of this line, then you get like rid of like one of these, then you only have like one token left, and then you need to build your field again for next turn. Well, over first radius, like can just like populate the field really easily and like keep it for next turn preferably, but like that stuff happens, right? And then for like other stuff like Fee, Steam made the format, so in my opinion, like I played like with Hall of course, with Nuno and stuff, just to like try to help them, and I felt like I don't know, like Steam Mania was still like by far. I played this like with Nuno, like a little bit with Luard, and I think with Luard is like dog shit.
I think that sort of Steam, I think that last restriction is, I think they're trying to be like as literally disruptive maybe, looking back on it. Like,
I really like the mirror though now, because the mirror is actually grindy. Yeah. So like the mirror previously was like, I will go first and I do my stuff. If I get piano, it's really good. And it essentially came out who has like the first big turn, right? Because like if you had like your just general turn where you do like 4 or 5, maybe even 6 attacks, you're good. But if you don't have piano, then you just heal guard and it's okay. But like if you go second and you open with piano and you do your turn, you could just like kill your opponent right there and then. And now that doesn't happen at all. Like funny enough, it happened to Nuno, where like was like where like he was at grade 2 and got like killed like twice I think or something like that, just really like unlucky. But just the fact that like the mirror is actually grinding now and that you really have to like put really some effort into it instead of like piano, buy the card from hand, attack. Oh yeah, my Vanguard is like 25, I'm on grade 2, oh yeah, I'm dead. Like, and then you have to like pray that like you don't check double crit. But I think for this format also like the deck changed quite a bit because like in my testing, I really like the tank crit build more. So, like in the previous format, if I would play the deck right, I would play like between like even 6 to 7 draws, which is like 4 PGs and like 3 draws, because with piano, it doesn't matter how much shield you have in general. Like, of course, if you have like, yeah, Diamond is 5k shield, and it's like, okay, cool, whatever, right? You get like blown off the water instantly. But like, if you have like a little bit of 10k shields, 15k shields, you just care about hand size. Like, piano was like the type of card that literally said to your opponent, okay, you need to have 10 cards. If you don't have 10 cards, you're dead. Like, it just checks hand size. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't care about like.
It's part of the reason I'm playing the order now. Kind of, it's a bit of a quick way to try and get it in my hand. Obviously, you have to bribe it, so it's not that consistent.
Yeah.
But at least if you draw it,
Yeah.
you can soul charge it and Marlon move like that Karolis that heals or something.
Yeah, like for this format, I think it's changed more because like the Vanguard was always like insanely big. I still remember like playing in Germany, attacking with my Vanguard. Okay, yeah, sure, it's 120k. Like, okay, yeah, good luck with Ghost. Like I played Ghosties and like just like played the grind game because Ghosties was like a different type of deck too. Like you need to like know how to counter it because sometimes you like I was just scared that I could like get sacked, right? We can like scroll on and stuff. But like I think the format now changed where you play more crits because now it actually matters again for how much shield for you, and like Sentinel crits can already guard most of the decks. Like you have like Ulu, 25k on 2 force markers, then you have Idol, which is like the 28, so you get like the heals for it, the 20k heals. Then you have like Elo, which is like 39. So then you have the Sentinel crit, which is all really good one card cards.
Yeah, the Sentinel crits were pretty good against the only attack's not good against is obviously Schlishma herself.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about Fee.
To like in this case, okay.
But like even in premium, like you're right on that. Like it's still good, but I don't like. I still think you need to like play certain PG because you most of the time lead to PG the Vanguard or the record that like becomes insane here because like sometimes you have like 39 Elo, get 2 triggers on 59. Ah shit man, like then you really need to PG.
Yeah.
Or like an insanely strong G guard, right? Because like some G guards are like just 3 PGs.
Yeah.
Or like just become insanely high.
Yeah, that's true.
But I really liked at least like the Worlds format. Like I enjoyed it. I knew it was like a bit of, quite variance reliant. You essentially need to like have everything go alright. Like in my case, it didn't do at all. Like just
very start.
Yeah, just losing round 1 because like okay, so be it. Like unlucky. And then my opponent from round 2 and 3 instantly dropped, so I was the lowest X1. So I needed to go X1 to make top 8. And it was like, and also the game against Maxime, like holy.
I still can't believe both you and Maxime, 2 people I played on the same team with in London Springfest, ended up getting top 3 at Premium Worlds. On top of that, the person who won D standard, Alex, Alex was also my opponent from that same finals at that same time. So we had a finals with 6 players playing, obviously. Half those players basically made top 3 in Worlds.
Alex also really congrats, really good guy, good player. And like of course Catherine Joe winning. Like I think it made me sound weird, but like you have like newcomer with me, like on premium wise. Then you have Alex on standard, and then you have like Catherine Joe on PP. like
Catherine Joe's been around for a long time. He's had a lot of tops.
I never played against him, but like I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised to see him be world champ, and he is. Like super congrats to him.
Well done.
Yeah, definitely it's true.
Also, we have 2 European champions, which finally Europe is bringing back some championships, which is
and all
finally.
The same social group as well.
Also, that's like most people are like part of a group and stuff, and well, I'm the type of person that goes in between groups, right? Like I'm not particularly part of like a team or a group. I'm just like the solo person that's like, oh, I will just hang out with this and then I'll hang out with this and like hang out with this. and just like playtest a little bit with everyone. But then again, like I have like quite some variance in it, so I like know many people in terms of like different playstyles and different decks. But it's not like I can like have one boogeyman like testing every deck for me. Like such as like no one relaxing instead of because like that's the other way around. Like we played this like quite a lot, but we only played like Gears versus Genesis. Like I don't think that's like a good representative of like the meta, right?
It's probably why I didn't have that many people hit me up for testing as well.
Yeah, but like it was good testing, alright.
Yeah.
Like just the
I'm
mode.
glad- I'm glad
Like
it's
I knew if I could like survive the most special like 7 rounds in a go, that I would be safe with various. So
yeah, I mean I'm surprised like because a lot of people I think probably think nah there's no point testing this, but I'm not going to get any practice or anything value out for Worlds. But I'm surprised that you said like you got a lot out of those games that helped you finalize that list. So
yeah, but I'm also the like type of player that already played this in mind, right? Like I know from like how cards work, I just want to see interactions.
Yeah.
And, like let's for example against Highlander, I knew what to do and what I really want to like achieve. And I also want to see if it works against other decks, because like some cards you don't have to play test, and it's like very like dangerous to say what in my opinion. Like if you're a newcomer or you don't play like for format too long, or like be competitive for too long, and you say I'm not playing testing this card, and I think it's good, that's super dangerous to say, in my opinion. Like just blindly like grabbing a card, but like I was secure enough to like playtest without RNPGs to say I'm good with them, and then I just want to see like how I could survive against decks that like get more crits earlier, right? Because like with RNPGs they're good, but you don't want to like fetch PGs already in the early game that much. You, like draw PGs are like better than. But then again, like against Mo, you want to see RNPGs because he could just sack you out of oblivion. So like I want to see if that worked out, and then I could already like theory craft. Oh, okay. If that works out, then I can do this against Highlander, for example, type of thing.
So in your case, I guess your compromise was instead of running Arlem, you decided on Rolox, which is I would say like obviously you can't fetch Rolock out of a cat, but that's kind of the same idea.
Yeah, but Entrana just goes so fast to the deck. Like if you play 2 Entranas now, play 2 for example, you go to 8 cards of your deck, which is like 1/6. Or, like okay, so like there will be like some people like that's not 1/6, like sort of is right. But it's like you go through it like super fast with like stuff. But I didn't play Rolock instead of Arlen. Like I played at the beginning, I played both, but I just decided I don't want Arlen. Like I really want Rolock because you need to like have the +1 and also like have just more PGs in general. And also with draw PGs you go through your deck faster, which I really like. Like I never want to deck out. It can happen of course, but it never happened to me at least. But I think that's it, right? Like for like World's experience and stuff.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I feel like we probably talked about a lot of things really. Like matchup wise, I went against 3 Bermuda Triangle players, 2 Narukami, 1 Steam Maiden, as well.
You have far more competitive like matchups than me.
So I got 3-3 scoring.
Steam Maiden. Okay, writing green on the scary, right? Chaos, Luard Kisei, Steam Maiden, and there was like what I have forgot. Highlander because I played against Rara. That was my like Swiss, and then like of course top 8 was competitive. Like now we're Highlander, but like it's just the anomaly that I played against Chaos and Luard Kisei, right? That's like an anomaly. I was thinking about like taking out Ragnarok for the fact of like I don't think they will like I will see them as worlds, and then like at the last moment tag them in, and I'm like holy shit, I'm so fucking happy that I put them in. Holy shit, if I would take them out I would like never like go over it, right? Because I played the card since 3 and it's like what the fuck.
So since people both Dave and Mo share their matchups, I guess I'll chip in as well. So I played Spikes. I was one of the 3 Spikes players in the room, I think. So I went 4-2. I faced 2 Steam Maiden, 2 Highlander, 1 Mirror Match, and 1 Nightmare Dolls, and I lost.
Did you play against like the person that made top 8? Because you had the 1 Spike player that made top 8.
No, I think I played the other one. And two of my losses were one to Steam Maiden and one to Highlander. Was mostly down to variance. One of those games I did go second against the Steam Maiden. Against Highlander I went first, but sadly I went into a greed max play, and I went blank into a strand trigger, and then I just had no shield value to survive the next turn, so
Couldn't
it was
you do
just
that against
unfortunate.
me? Maybe in testing?
I used up all my good luck in testing against Dave.
So like we tested like the day before Worlds. I played against like Karolis, and it's like you played Queen on Max, and I got sacked to oblivion, like over triggers.
I think I went like 6-0 against Dave in like an hour.
Yeah, it was like I was like, oh, is this going to be Worlds? And then I went Worlds, I was like, holy, what the fuck? But yeah, it was at least a really good one. Like I think even for you, it's like you of course went X2 and you're like a little bit like not down about it, but like a little bit sad, right? But like I think even people that went X2, I think it's important as long as you're like confident you made the best plays in the scenarios you get like given, right? It's in general fine. But like that's just like for many people it's like the first Worlds. It's also for me first Worlds, right? It's like people, when I was talking to them, like didn't expect it, like that it was my first Worlds.
Yeah, there's actually quite a few champions that have, I definitely know have basically one from going to Worlds just once. Like I know, was it Colin? He's from Hawaii. I believe he only went once to Worlds, but the thing is, in Hawaii they don't have qualifiers at the moment. They've only had that one. The one that was able to qualify for, but since then there's not been any qualifiers in Hawaii. So yeah, there are people who do make it like on their first time. I've been 4 times, but I've still yet to make top 8. Yeah, I guess there's a
it's like
time luck, I guess.
I think like just like the mentality of like because the format is so like variance dependent. It's just like as long as you think if I done the right play, as long as you're confident with the right play, then so be it. Like then just variance like took over from you. Nothing that you can do about it. That's just how the game is. Like we're playing a card game after all. It's like if you really want to play like I want to be the best player all the time, yeah, just play chess. Like
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's kind of true, I guess.
But so yeah, I feel a little bit bittersweet. So I finished 15th. My standings were nowhere close to getting into top 8. But I feel like throughout the day I played pretty well. So as long as I manage to qualify for next year, I'm confident I can do well again. So it's like, it's just a little bit sad, but overall I'm very proud of myself.
Yeah, but that should be it, right? But I think we end the video here because we talked like already. Like,
yeah, we don't want to like make this video take forever to.
Oh, it was already for finals.
We're way too busy. Yeah, we're a bit too busy, so we've not had the chances. But yeah, it's been good to meet people at Worlds and all. There's a lot of people who mean to meet as well.
Definitely.
Congrats to everyone, and until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.
See you next time.
Later.